This is Eyewitness News with live breaking news.
We begin with breaking news at 11. A new video just in as Hurricane Milton takes the roof off Tampa's Tropicana Dome. What's being called a once-in-a-century storm slams into the Florida coast with ferocious winds, intense rain, and a relentless storm surge. Tonight, the power is out and water systems are shutting down. It's already been a long night for millions of people living across Florida, and the danger is far from over. Let's take a live look now at Tampa, Florida. That's one of the hardest hit areas. It's hard to see through all of this wet, but you can see the winds and heavy rain still pounding the area. We have live team coverage tonight, beginning with Eyewitness News reporter Tim Caputo. Brand new images of the damage coming in tonight. Tim.
And Marc, 2.7 million customers without power across Florida tonight. In the 5 counties where Milton made landfall, about 75% of the people there lost power. And while we won't see the full scope of the damage likely until tomorrow morning, we are now getting a glimpse of the storm's destructive power tonight. Near 100-mile-an-hour wind gusts in St. Petersburg, ripping apart the roof of Tropicana Field, home of the Tampa Bay Rays, as Hurricane Milton made landfall as a Category 3 storm around 8:30 p.m. in Florida. The ballpark was initially going to be used as an emergency shelter. This video that's now going viral shows the hundreds of cots set up on the field. But thankfully, officials decided to change locations early this morning. The whipping winds from this massive storm also toppled multiple construction cranes in downtown St. Pete and knocked out power to millions across the state. At least half a dozen cities, all on the Gulf Coast where Milton made landfall, report rainfall of a foot or more and are dealing with extensive flooding. But hours before that happened, more than 30 tornadoes touched down on both coasts, causing significant damage to homes.
And we all started going for the hallway. Didn't even make it there in time. Started and I heard a piece of glass crack and it sucked the whole roof off, and I felt the thing suck me up, and I grabbed my kid and my wife and hunkered down.
Tonight, officials in St. Lucie County on the Atlantic coast already confirm several people have died from one tornado in Fort Pierce.
You know, a hurricane comes in 2 weeks in advance, you have notice. You know where the eye wall is, you know when the windstorm is, you know where the winds are at your location. With a tornado, you don't know that. It's almost like having a bomb drop it in any place in the county.
The extent of the damage from the feared storm surge is still unknown, as emergency crews in cities like Tampa that received a direct blow are still hunkered down like everyone else.
We actually had to cease all services because it's actually been too dangerous to put my first responders out there on the roads.
Utility crews in position and ready to respond once the storm finally passes, and President Biden says the federal government is also poised for a swift response.
We've already approved emergency declarations for Florida. We have thousands of federal personnel on the ground. We've staged and are ready to go. We have 20 million meals, 40 million liters of water.
250,000 people evacuated Tampa, and officials say another 70,000 went to shelters. The strongest winds and heaviest rain may be behind them, but this giant storm is far from done, and federal officials have a warning during these dark and dangerous overnight hours.
So right now, you just need to stay put, right? The wind is, even though it's decreasing, the threats are not decreasing.
And here's an example of that. Reports tonight of a major water main break in St. Petersburg this evening because of this hurricane. It means the drinking water service will be shut off across the city of St. Pete, a place that was clearly one of the hardest hit in this storm. 1.5 feet of rain, 96-mile-an-hour wind gusts, and the vast majority of that county now without power. Marc?
We await the light of day to see how bad this got. Tim, thank you for that. Now let's check in with Danny Romero. You've been